like Yayo talking about, yeah, Jay don't take care of... I don't need Jay to go on tour.
Yo smoke hard coke,
Yo, chill. Yo, chill.
You look like you need to be taken care of. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene.
We was watching them be that, like Mace be that and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally he had one. And I just looked, and I knew I just took the shot murder to see, because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You gotta watch to see how he responds. You see, you're like, oh shit, he really like that.
You want to hear that story? All right, for Stacks and them, I was about to buy Stacks to give Max and Melly a whole brownstone in New Jersey. None of them wanted to leave the hood. And I was not about to waste my money, and that was what I offered them. I went shopping for the shit and all that type of shit.
Yeah, we remember that, like, Bass. We remember that. Shout out to Bass. We remember the conversation.
And I'm like, yo, you bugging. You want to, like, you could go to the hood every day, but you're going to be living in Jersey. Like, you're going to be living better than, like, and you don't have to worry about paying for no rent or nothing like that. I'm just trying to get you niggas out the hood. Melly too. And Melly ended up getting shot, right? Like none of these niggas would listen, and everything that happened that you know can happen in the hood end up happening and shit like that, you know what I mean? But everything to try to protect them for what I know could have happened to them, I tried.
Yo, Jim Jones really thought he could talk slick about 50 and Yayo again. But Tony Yayo wasn't having none of that. He came swinging with facts, not feelings, and dragged Jim straight back to reality. And when Yayo pulled out those receipts about Max B and Stack bundles, the internet lit up like Harlem in chaos. So now the question is, who's really built for this? The Harlem Capo or the Queen's Soldier? It all kicked off after Jim sat down for a deep convo with Memphis Bleek. What was supposed to be some industry talk turned into straight up shade. Jim started riding that what if wave again. What if Dipset stayed tight? What if loyalty still meant something? You could hear the regret dripping off every word like he was low-key trying to rewrite history. Bleek kept tossing Yayo's name around too, from Drink Champs to Shannon Sharp's show. And that clearly got under Jim's skin, because when Yayo came up again, Jim snapped. Timing was everything. After hours of cool talk, Jim finally dropped those personal shots, and you could feel the tension building.
A lot of people, me from the hood, so people look at Bleek and don't understand the business he's doing. They always look at Jay like, oh
yeah. That's why you got like Yayo talking about, yeah, Jay don't take care of... I don't need Jay to go on tour.
Yo smoke hard coke,
Yo, chill. Yo, chill.
You look like you need to be taken care of. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 send you an ounce or something, yo.
You do need
you
that
might
help.
need
That's
2 ounces, nigga.
That's why
Pay
you
the full movie. I got a G for every bump in your face, nigga. I promise you that, nigga.
That's
I promise you that, nigga.
That's why he worried about
Peon, you broke, nigga. You know I got it, nigga. What's up? The bag is up. The both sides.
Hey, yo.
Hey, Flea, where the both sides, Flea?
Let me finish that off. Ain't nobody taking care of over here, B. Yo, nah, you good, my nigga. I fucking love it. They deserve it. They need to hear this shit, man, because they bugging out here. All these niggas worrying about who taking care of who. We take care of we. Ain't no who take care of who, nigga.
But Yayo? He peeped the whole thing, sat back, and then clapped back surgically. Instead of barking online, he went old school, posted that throwback video for Do It Right with French Montana and Max B. And if you know your history, you know Max B went 10 rounds with Jim back in the day. That beef still leaves scars.
Y'all niggas do, I don't do. I do the other thing. Everything. Y'all niggas go across the street that way, I'm going up. Holla at your boy. I do other things, man. I don't do what y'all niggas do. I don't do what niggas do. I don't watch niggas' money. I don't care. I just do what I do.
Yayo was playing chess while Jim was playing checkers, and that move hit deep because it reminded everybody of the cracks in Jim's image. Jim's whole brand lives off that Harlem wave. We fly high days, flash, and big talk, but Yayo flipped that nostalgia right back on him. The more Jim talked about old grudges, the more it showed he's still stuck in the past. Meanwhile, Yayo been proving how loyalty really works, not through interviews, but through actions. 50 held him down when he came home, bought him a crib, set him up for tours, made sure he ate right. That's real team energy. GUnit moved different.
So when I came out of jail, what did 50 do? Yo, get him an apartment in Battery Park. I ain't sell a record to do nothing. Yeah,
is Battery Park at?
That's right there by the Statue of Liberty. Like I just said, we just came back off tour.
Yeah.
You know, with Fifth, and we still touring, still. And I do my own tours too for people. Oh, yo.
You see,
I do my own tours. I did tours in Canada. I did a tour across the whole Germany and the Swiss Alps, and that's why I don't care about the hate, because I'm like, I got the possibility to do my own tour, like something with Memphis Bleek. Memphis Bleek said Nori. Yayo said, Jay-Z didn't have us on tour like he did, or I eat my own halal. I eat my own halal too, if you want to say that. To Memph Bleak, I just came off my last tour. All I'm saying is when you see Jay-Z in a setting, he never really, when he's doing a Beyonce show or whatever, you don't see Memphis Bleak on the stage or him being brought out.
Less talk, more proof. So when Yayo reminded folks of that loyalty, it hit hard. He wasn't just shading Jim, he was showing the difference between moving with brotherhood and moving with ego. And let's be real, the fans saw it too. Jim could flex all he wanted, but Yayo's quiet confidence said it all. And just when people thought it was done, Yayo hit that final nerve by posting those receipts, reminding everyone of who really held Harlem weight and who was just talking loud. The slick talk backfired, and suddenly, that capo crown started looking a little crooked. Yayo's whole move here was precision. He wasn't just tossing shade, he was exposing patterns. He called Jim out for fronting like a boss, when deep down he once leaned heavy on 50 for features, cosigns, and industry love. That flipped the whole story.
Man, Jim Jones right here. Bought you the biggest record of last year, right?
Oh yeah, we had a nice time last year.
What we call that?
I was balling, we still balling. What's poppin', big baby?
It's balling. You know, so why was you here, man? Well, we gotta do that one time. Tell me how you do it.
You got to pass me the bottle for me.
That's how we gotta do that.
I need a bottle, baby.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, I just came to show some support, you know. I respect GUnit is one of the few movements that I do respect in this game and things like that. You know me, I'm a hustler, so I'm always open for money and things like that.
That's what this is. This is the ultimate hustler version of Rad City right here.
It's still diplomats though, baby.
Yeah.
Recently, it was reported that Cameron will be collaborating with 50 Cent on Paid in Full. What would you expect to see with a Cameron and 50 Cent collaboration?
I don't know what to expect to see from them two suckers. I wouldn't care what they expect to see from them. I wish them the best. Just stay out my way, please.
That's all?
That's it.
Yeah, I just seen the Breakfast Club. Jimmy popping all that bullshit. I be seeing you, Jimmy, talking about we Gucci boo boo. He in the Gucci store. Talking about we Gucci boo boo. Them like King niggas was going fuck you up, Jimmy. They was like, Marita Moneda. Fucking Coca-Cola. Pedro.
Suddenly, Jim's self-made image looked more like a remix built on borrowed momentum. Remember those days when Jim and 50 were all smiles on stage acting tight? Yeah, that don't match the independent king vibe Jim keeps pushing now. Yayo basically said, stop talking like a general when you move like a recruit. And that hit home. He reminded everyone that when Jim could have been building up Dipset, he was chasing short-term wins with 50 instead. That's the kind of choice that sticks to your name for years. But things got really real when Yayo brought up Max B and stack bundles, and that's when it stopped being internet talk and turned into something deep about legacy, loyalty, and loss. Yayo threw up that old clip of stack bundles posted up with a Porsche while still stuck in the projects. And it spoke volumes. He wasn't clowning him, he was showing how image don't equal protection. Just because you look rich don't mean you're being looked after. That one moment forced people to remember how ugly things got back then, how Max and Stack didn't always get the support they deserved when it mattered most.
Stack Bundles, one of my favorite rappers in the world.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Right?
Ryan
Squad.
Rest in peace.
Far Rock.
Yep.
You understand? Jim Jones, he had Stack Bundles, he had Max B. I looked at it like, wait, you know. Stacked Bundles, we had a Porsche and was still in the hood. No disrespect to Jim Jones. Fifth had me in Battery Park. I could walk out that motherfucker barefoot. But that's when you know a nigga love you, boy. Cause he making sure you don't get your shit split. Cause you go back to 134, anywhere, Baisley, right, Brooklyn, shit get split.
So I copy worked the name just in case. So no, the Ballin. Ballin came out and he was popping, you know, you get Stack Bundles, God bless the dead. Girl named Jaja from Miami, she was dope. She had some kid from Baltimore that sounded like Jay-Z that was dope. And then he got Max B. Now Max B, and Jim's on the parade, he's the one who put Max B on. Max B is from my building. Him and Mike Bruno from my block. And Max B, he wasn't Max B, his name was Charlie Rambo. And Charlie was ill, man. Charlie was one of these niggas that would piss in a bottle and bums would be sleeping, he'd pour the piss on them and laugh and shit like that. Like he was a funny nigga. Charlie Rambo was a funny nigga. So he was always getting in trouble though, in and out of jail doing this thing. Max B, you got Stack Bundles, them two alone. Put them out. You could have ate, you know what I'm saying? Jim kept using them for his albums instead of putting them out. And like I be telling people, I'm like, you know, Jim, if you think about it, just think about it. And like I said, I gotta always say no shade because everybody can say, Jim never put no artists out.
And Jim, he never liked when that part of the story gets brought up. Yayo basically pulled the curtain back on how Jim moved behind the scenes, calling out how he made money off talent but didn't always circle it back. Once those names, Max B and Stack, came up, the internet went wild. People started replaying those interviews, looking at Jim different, realizing how him and 50 ran things completely differently. See, 50 came from that protect the crew mentality. He stacked his team up, luxury rides, designer gear, safe homes, passports, the whole deal. Loyalty under his leadership came with security, cash, and real clout.
You know, even if I'm doing the hype man shit with 50, he's bringing me out. I'm making money. I'm going to
That's that man girl too. That's it. That's Hove's wife tour.
Yeah, that's Hove wife tour.
So if Hove, I believe if Hove was out on his own, he would bring Bleak out. There is no need for him to bring Bleak in a situation where it looked like if this was last tour you're talking about with the Cowboy Carter.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, because I look at Bleak as a loyal guy, like I'm a loyal guy to Jay. But I look at like Fifth, my guy Hervé. One day we had TRL, and it's the young Gunners there.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to him about it. And Hervé says loud, "You don't gotta worry about nothing. You got 50. Jay-Z doesn't do nothing for these guys like 50 does." And Hervé, I think he worked with them too. But he said that to me, and that always stuck in my head. Rest in peace to him.
Meanwhile, Jim was still moving like the streets never left him. Hands-on, loud, hustling every angle to keep Dipset hot. He helped his people with quick cash and connections, but it wasn't always enough to pull them out for good, and that's where stack bundles became the symbol. Jim gave him tools, money, access, features, but couldn't get him free from the projects. So when Yayo threw that punch, it wasn't just about rap, it was about responsibility. The message was clear. Being real ain't just about hood stories and flashy loyalty. It's about how you protect your people when things get rough. And just when fans thought it was over, 50 slid into the mix like he always does. You know 50 can't resist a little chaos. Once Jim started taunting Yayo for needing backup, 50 jumped right in, ready to remind the whole industry that when GUnit moves, they move as one. And that's something Jim can't fake. Yayo basically said what the streets already knew. Jim's bitter because nobody's ever held him down the way 50's held down his people. That's the real sting. The bond between 50 and Yayo runs deep, built from loyalty, history, and blood, sweat, and platinum hits. It's more than friendship, and it's protection, brotherhood, and power all wrapped into one. When 50 moves, his whole camp eats. And if you come for one of his guys, you're stepping straight into 50's line of fire. And that's never been a safe place to stand. But to really understand why this hit so hard, you gotta rewind the clock. This tension between 50 and Jim Jones didn't start yesterday. It's been brewing for years. Back in the mid-2000s, when the rap game was all about dominance and alliances, 50 had already made a few jabs at Jim's movement. Around 2007, he publicly called out Coke Records, the label Jim was signed to, straight up calling it a graveyard for washed artists. That comment set the whole Dipset camp on fire. Cam'ron and Jim both clapped back with diss tracks and interviews, but 50 didn't fight like them. He played chess while they played checkers. See, 50's genius was in how he used the drama to his advantage. He didn't just talk, he trolled.
I'm so afraid of Ja Rule, Jim Jones, and Freaky that I'm hiding out in Texas. Please, whatever you do, don't tell them I'm in San Antonio. Don't tell them I'm staying at the Four Seasons. Don't tell them, please don't tell them, man, because it's just so much pressure on me right now. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid, man. Don't tell them I'm at Specs.
Hey.
Yeah, say it for Tracy.
Yeah, he's on.
What's up, man? Hey, what's up, man? What's up?
Hey.
While beefing with Cam, he turned around and brought Jim and Jules Santana on stage during one of his shows, and right in the middle of the conflict. That move shook the whole industry because it made the Dipset tension impossible to ignore. It wasn't just rap beef anymore, it was a public power play. And every time Jim tried to clap back, 50 would flip the narrative, making him look like he was chasing the spotlight instead of controlling it. Over the years, 50 never stopped poking. Every now and then he'd drop a slick post or interview reminder that Jim's numbers weren't hitting like that, or that his brand wasn't moving the same way. Meanwhile, 50 kept expanding. TV shows, liquor deals, global tours, all while reminding everyone he came from the same streets. That's the difference. 50 mastered the system while Jim kept fighting to stay relevant in it. And that's what makes Yayo's loyalty even louder. Yayo's never switched sides, never snuck shade, never played the middle. Dude's been solid since day one, and 50's always rewarded that. Houses, tours, protection, real life opportunities. That's the kind of loyalty that pays off. Jim, on the other hand, built his loyalty around image. Flashy fits, jewelry, the Harlem bravado, but not always the structure behind it. So when this latest Yayo versus Jim situation blew up, 50's reaction wasn't just, I got my boys back. It was him saying, this is how real loyalty looks, tested, proven, and paid in full. It wasn't about internet beef anymore. It was about showing how the game rewards consistency. Yayo stood 10 toes down and became living proof that loyalty in 50's camp comes with a lifestyle. Meanwhile, Jim's out here talking designer drip and hustle stories, but the difference shows. Yayo represents stability, a man who stayed true and reaped real results. Jim represents the constant grind, loud, proud, but still fighting for validation. And that's the lesson buried in all this drama. In a world full of clout and quick fame, real loyalty never goes out of style. All the designer gear in the world can't save you if your own people don't trust you. That's the cold truth Yayo been pressing. And one moment that really blew the lid off everything was the Dipset versus LOX versus battle. Yayo called it the ultimate proof that Jim ain't the Harlem boss he claims to be. And honestly, he wasn't lying. Fans saw it clear as day. The shaky chemistry, the awkward energy, the missing respect. The whole thing showed that when it comes to loyalty versus image, Jim's been playing on the wrong team. Jim can flex on the gram all he wants. Drip, diamonds, jets, the whole vibe. But if your people ain't backing you, that boss image starts to crack fast. Yayo's message hit different because it wasn't about hate. It was about truth. You can't buy loyalty and you can't fake respect. That's the lesson Yayo's living, and it's cutting right into Jim's pride. See, Yayo's loyalty comes with real backing. He's been solid since day one, and 50 made sure he's protected, paid, and respected. Meanwhile, Jim's loyalty circle looks shaky at best. He's got flash, but no foundation. That's why when Yayo threw that shot, it hit harder than any diss track, because everyone knows it's facts. Jim tried to brush it off, saying he's not beefing with washed rappers, but come on. That sounded less like confidence and more like retreat. The fans could smell it. And the crazy part? That wasn't even the only wild thing Jim said lately. Dude's been on a roller coaster of saying whatever it takes to stay in headlines. Just this past June 2025 on the Joe and Jada podcast, Jim went viral again, this time claiming he's a better rapper than Nas. Yeah, you read that right. Nas. He straight up compared his Billboard hits and plaques to Nas's legacy like it was some scoreboard battle. He even bragged that he's got more reach with the younger crowd, saying Nas never moved the culture like that before 2025. That comment alone had the whole internet flipping out. The hip-hop community didn't let that slide for a second. Artists, fans, and even blogs lit him up. People were defending Nas left and right, calling Jim delusional for even thinking he's in the same lane. A fake track called 400 Bands even popped up online. People saying, even a fake Nas sounds better than Jim. The memes were ruthless, and this ain't some random slip-up either. It's a pattern. Every few months, Jim pops out with a new hot take or stunt just to keep his name alive. From dissing Nas to sparring with Yayo to revisiting old 50 beef, it's all starting to look like a desperate play for clout. Fans aren't buying the act anymore. Because while Jim's out here posting designer outfits, ice, cars, and jets, all meant to scream Harlem royalty, it's backfiring. Every post turns into a comment section circus. Instead of awe, he's getting roasted. The same blogs that used to hype him up? Quiet. Even loyal fans are starting to call him out for chasing relevance instead of respect. Meanwhile, Yayo and 50 don't even gotta try. They don't need constant flexing or viral antics. Their reputation speaks for itself. Yayo doesn't post to prove anything. His name already carries weight because the loyalty around him is real. That's what makes the contrast so brutal. Jim's trying to show he's a boss while Yayo and 50 Live like it. And at this point, the streets are watching closely. Because when the image fades and the jewelry stops shining, all that's left is who really stood by their people. And right now, Jim's track record looking shaky compared to the GUnit code of loyalty and legacy. The kind of respect 50's built over the years speaks louder than any diamond chain or iced out watch could ever shine. That man turned image into empire. He knows how to flip a viral moment into a lifetime of money, movies, and legacy. Meanwhile, Jim's approach feels the opposite. Reactive, rushed, and sometimes just plain desperate. His flexes don't read as power moves anymore. They look like he's trying too hard to convince everyone he's still sitting at the top. But the culture's got sharp eyes, and trust me, they're seeing right through it. It's not just about the jewelry or the cars anymore. It's about consistency, evolution, and respect. every wild stunt, shady comment, or flashy post Jim drops turns into another chance for fans to judge how much weight his name really holds in 2025. And right now, the verdict's not looking too good. Back in the early 2000s, Jim was untouchable. He had Dipset blazing hot, charting records, running the streets, and repping Harlem like a king. We Fly High wasn't just a track. It was a cultural takeover. The pink furs, the swagger, the energy. Jim's aura was unstoppable. But time moves fast, and those days feel light years away now. The glow of that Dipset era is fading, and instead of adapting, Jim seems to be clinging to it like a lifeline. Nowadays, it's not the music doing the talking, it's the antics. From calling himself a better rapper than Nas to making outrageous claims about being more viral than legends, it's giving reach, not respect. And every time he tries to light up the internet, it backfires into memes, roasts, and clips that make him look more like the punchline than the powerhouse. And that's what hurts, because Jim had the streets once. He had that respect. But these days, it feels like he's chasing it back instead of earning it. The culture's changed, and the audience can tell the difference between confidence and clout chasing. The louder Jim flexes, the clearer it gets that something's missing. That's solid backing. That unity Dipset once stood for. Even the media's energy shifted. The same bloggers and journalists who used to hype him up every time he dropped a fit or made a move are quiet now. That silence, that's the loudest response of all. Because when the culture stops defending you, that's when it's real. Fans can sense when an artist's energy turns from leadership to desperation. And the truth is, Jim's running out of old tricks. You can only use beef and controversy as promo for so long before people tune out. His recent interviews, social media rants, and self-proclaimed Harlem King flexes keep him trending, sure, but not for the right reasons. They show a man scrambling to stay seen, not leading the wave like he used to. But make no mistake, Jim ain't done making noise. He's still got that survivor instinct. You can bet he's already plotting his next move, whether it's dropping a surprise track, stirring up another headline, or linking with some younger artist to tap into Gen Z's attention span. He's not ready to fade. Not yet. But here's the problem. The game's different now. Fans don't just care about who's the loudest or flashiest anymore. They're watching who's evolving, who's building legacy, who's standing for something solid. And right now, Jim's image-heavy strategy is starting to show cracks, while the new generation demands more than just nostalgia and flashy talk. So yeah, Jim might still have moves left, but the next one better count, cause the culture's patience is running thin. And if he doesn't shift from flexing to rebuilding, the same crowd that once crowned him Harlem's finest might be the same one that turns their back for good. Jim's next chapter might depend on whether he finally learns to play the long game. The thing about hip-hop now is, attention don't last. You can go viral one night and be forgotten by morning. That's why the greats reinvent themselves instead of chasing quick headlines. 50 figured that out early. He flipped his name into a brand, TV shows, liquor, film, books, and every move fed into the next one. Jim, though, he's still moving like it's 2006, trying to win off energy instead of evolution. The difference shows in how each camp built their legacy. GUnit's blueprint was structure, business before drama, strategy before emotion. 50 put his people in position where they could grow beyond music. Yayo became living proof of that. Still respected, still visible, no scandals, no desperation. Meanwhile, Jim's moves keep circling back to old habits, old beefs, old egos, and a spotlight that's getting smaller every year. And it's wild because he's got the resources to shift gears. Jim's dipped into fashion, fitness, real estate, and podcasts. But every time he's close to reinventing himself, he drags the convo back to beef, clout, or controversy. It's like he can't stop chasing the energy that built Dipset instead of building something new. Fans want growth, not reruns. Even his interviews show it. He'll say something that could spark a comeback, then derail it by calling out another rapper or flexing charts no one asked about. It's self-sabotage in slow motion, and the culture's watching it play out in real time. You can tell people want to root for him. There's nostalgia, respect, and that Harlem pride, but they're also tired of seeing him burn bridges that could have turned into business. And that's the irony. Jim built a legacy off loyalty, flash, and being a hustler, but right now, the hustle looks lost. The same energy that once made him unstoppable is now what's keeping him stuck. Until he learns to turn his talk into strategy, not scandal, he's gonna keep playing catch up in a game that's already moved on without him. They're watching everything now. Every post, every story, every flex, every move Jim makes gets weighed against what he used to be. And that comparison is brutal. He can throw on the loudest designer fits, shine with icy chains, or talk about Dipset glory all he wants. But the culture's scoreboard isn't about flash anymore. It's about loyalty, consistency, and credibility. And those things can't be rented or reposted. They're earned brick by brick over time. That's why Yayo's calm approach cuts deeper than any diss. He doesn't need to brag or post 100 stories a day. His respect is already cemented. He's consistent, solid, and his name carries weight because it's built on action, not antics. Every time Jim tries a new stunt, the culture can't help but compare him to Yayo's quiet stability. And the difference is clear as day. One man's respected, the other's reaching. Jim's biggest battle now isn't with Yayo or 50, it's with the reflection in the mirror. He's fighting the image he created, one that's starting to fade the more he tries to force it. The fans aren't blind. They see the gap between authenticity and attention-seeking, between timeless loyalty and temporary clout. Every headline, every flex, every quote feels like he's trying to outrun the shadow of his own legacy. But maybe there's still a chance. Maybe Jim could pull off a wild comeback, a massive hit, a smart collab, something that flips the narrative and reminds everyone why his name mattered in the first place. Or maybe he keeps spinning the same wheel, chasing attention instead of evolution and risking that final stamp of desperation. That's the suspense the culture's living for right now, watching in real time to see if Jim Jones can rise back up or if this really is the point of no return. If you've been locked in for this breakdown, make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe. You know we stay bringing the realest celebrity drama right to your screen. And don't go anywhere. Click that next video you see popping up, because the next story is about to get even crazier. See you in the next one.